Welcome to Season 3, Episode 7 of The Tree of Geek. I'm your host, Josh, joined tonight by Michael.
What up?
And on this episode, we're taking a look into one of the most exciting genres in geekdom. We are looking at modern-day magic, also known as urban fantasy. Michael, what do you know about urban fantasy?
A decent amount, because I watch a lot of movies.
Well, good. That's a great start.
I watch a lot of movies.
We're going to be
a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows.
Yeah, we're going to be diving into some of the more urban fantasy movies tonight, avoiding TV shows, but we'll get to those.
Well, I have a list of
TV
shows to recommend briefly when we get to it.
Okay, I have a small honorable mentions, but nothing crazy.
Oh, I got like 50 different TV shows people can watch.
Oh, jeez. But before we get going, Michael, what's new in your world of geek?
New in my world of geekdom. Let's see. Let's start off with number one, The Gorge and Companion. I watched both those movies kind of next to each other. That's why I'm doing this as a one-piece deal, not to be confused with The Pirates, even though I did see a report that the guy who plays Renoa Zorro saying that he's going to be a lot deadlier in season 2. And he almost confirmed that there's going to be a season 3. So The Gorge, Anna Taylor-Joy, you get the guy from that drummer movie, also from the really bad Fantastic Four movie, Miles Teller. He was in Maverick. That was good. Top Gun 2, amazing movie. Anyway, they have to stop bad things from coming out of a gorge, and that's all I'll say about it, but I really enjoyed it. It was kind of out of the box. Some people might call it predictable. I don't know. I think the whole love story of it, and there was some good comedy. Maybe the special effects weren't the greatest, but yeah, it is. I just expect them to be what they are these days. Companion, I think I like this one a little bit more than you did because we both watched these movies. You said you also like The Gorge, but I'll let you get to it when it's your turn. Companion, good bloody horror movie. Yeah, it is predictable as far as the killings go, but I thought the comedy was good. There was a couple baby twists at the end, just little baby ones. If you like some Stepford Wives robot type shit, check it out.
I did like that, what's it, Guillermo?
Guillermo, yes.
What We Do in the Shadows was in it.
Yeah.
I love him. He's great.
He is. He played a little bit more of a serious Guillermo. Because the guy kind of does. I've seen him in a few things now, and he kind of plays like the same type of dude, but this one was a little bit more serious. For number 2, I read that Jared Padalecki and Misha Collins from Supernatural. Oh, look at there. There's a Supernatural urban fantasy, modern fantasy. Anyway, they're joining The Boys season 5. Eric Kripke is bringing everybody in. Now, when they bring in Crowley, that's when I'm going to be really super happy. That's a great actor.
Did they bring on Bobby Singer, didn't they?
Yeah, he was a president.
It was like President Singer or something.
Yeah.
Like
Sorry to plot, spoilers to everybody, but yeah, he has become president. Doctor Who season 2, April 12th is the new date. Whether you like it or not, that's when it's going to be. There's reports that they're going to yank it. It's going to be gone forever. But then other people are like, we're doing like up to season 5. So I don't know. Depends on where you get your news source from on the internet. Is it TikTok? Is it the New York Post? I don't know. We'll see which billionaire owns whichever one you like to go to. And speaking of news that is or is not true, Kathleen Kennedy, the lady behind the Star Wars last couple movies, the whole entire TV show deal, said to be retiring, though some reports say she's not retiring, but then some reports say that she is. Dave Filoni, that's doing Ahsoka, is supposed to take over. We'll see. I don't know. Somebody's like, oh, she'll retire in the next 10 years. And somebody's like, oh, she's retiring Tuesday. I don't know. But anyway, Star Wars might be having some upheaval of sorts. But then let's go to the other side of the sci-fi spectrum. Let's go to the Star Trek universe. If you guys like Becky Lynch from wrestling, know who she is, or don't, go and check out some of her matches. She's a pretty good wrestler. She's joining Starfleet Academy. I don't know who or what she will be playing, but she's supposed to be in there. And on a sadder note, Robert Orci, the guy behind the Kelvin timelines, did a lot of good Star Trek stuff. He sadly passed away. So, live long and prosper, my friend. Josh, what is up with you and your world of geekdom? What's new? What's good? What's not good?
Well, we'll go and just dive right into The Gorge and Companion, since
that's really far down.
We mentioned it, that it would be.
Why on a zip line?
So yeah, I did watch The Gorge, which weirdly enough, before you, I recommended it to you. Normally you watch it and you tell me what to watch.
Well, I told you I had it. I just didn't get a chance to get to it. It's been sitting on my hard drive.
This was one that I'd been wanting to check out. A guy at work mentioned it and I said, oh, how is that? And he just said, good.
It is good.
So, okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, I mean, it's a 6.8 on IMDb. Critics gave it a 64% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience is giving it a 78.
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a fantastic movie. Sure, like you said, there was a few plot holes here and there, but it was just an all-around good movie. It was a good mix. I put a post on Instagram for it, on our Instagram. It was a good mix of, what I say, thriller, action, a little bit of romance, and even a touch of horror. And by that, more like jump scare horror, but I mean, I don't know, it almost had like a Silent Hill feel towards the end. Like that kind of like anticipation feeling, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I just read today that it apparently set the record for Apple TV's biggest movie launch to date.
I wonder how Apple TV makes money off of these. I know they have subscription, but how do they make money off of this?
I don't know, because I also read it was that estimates were between 70 and 120 million to make it, which feels like a really big range that somebody couldn't just pin down how much it cost to make.
So it was 100 million.
Probably.
It's roughly, yeah.
And then Companion, like you said, decent movie. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
I'll give it a 7 something. I was going to do a post. Something happened in my life that I wasn't able to finish the post. But yeah.
I don't know. Everyone that listens knows I'm not a big horror fan. I couldn't get into it as much as I wanted to. Like, I really went into it wanting to like it.
Not going to say who it happened to, but what about the punching of the face over and over and over and over? You didn't enjoy that part?
That was brutal.
Those are the parts that
was
I
brutal.
live for.
I mean, there were definitely some really good parts to the movie. There was some good action. It was a fun plot line. I don't know. I couldn't get fully invested in it. And believe me, I went into it wanting to like it, but what's his name? Quaid.
Jack Quaid. He's starting to. I don't want to spoil things, but he's just starting to not be a likable character in so many movies.
I just feel like he's playing the same character in everything, just like with a different,
a not savory person. Somebody you're like, ew, that dude's icky. He's just playing icky. I tell you what, in that movie though, when he was smiling a couple times, he's got his father's smile, like that Joker.
Oh yeah,
here. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
We need to get some on camera soon so we can start, like, people can see what we're doing, mannerisms and things. We're working on it.
We have cameras. We are actually recording some sessions. We're doing some test runs. We do hope to be camera'd soon-ish, but we'll see what happens. Next on my list, I did watch Captain America Brave New World. I know you had gone to see it the other week. I went and saw it just recently. It is a good movie, but it's not amazing to me. IMDb has it a 6.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, critics gave it a 49%, whereas audiences are all the way up at 79%.
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I gave it a 6. Like I said, it was a good movie, but it just didn't feel like a Marvel movie to me.
I felt like it was, like just I said in the post, it was missing a chunk somewhere.
Yeah, like there's parts of the plot that felt like really overrushed. But at the same time, I don't know, it just didn't feel like a Captain America movie. I mean, I like Sam Wilson, but I don't know if I like him.
Hashtag not my cap. Hashtag not my cap.
There we go. Yeah, I have my notes. It says, call me picky, but I have a hard time seeing Sam as the Cap. So
I think he has his own set of morals, which are perfectly fine. He's a stand-up guy. He wants to do the right thing. It's just, there's something about him. And Anthony Mackie is another actor who kind of plays Anthony Mackie and everything. Elevation. Well, I think he did better in the Captain America movie. It's like a conviction thing. Like, he says he wants to do something, but I need an actual like flip out moment. And like, nobody flips out in a movie anymore. Remember back to Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise, you can't handle the truth. Where are those moments anymore in a movie? I'm not saying you have to be angry, but where's like the bursting emotion that we need to really believe? Like him slam his fist down and say, fuck you, president. This is how it goes.
Let's say those moments came with Harrison Ford. I thought he did a good job. He definitely upheld the Ross mentality of
I like the
short-tempered, and I like that.
The flashback they did of him, like just the imagery of it, just as like, William Hurt, this is what he looked like as William Hurt. That was nice.
Yeah, well, here's a mustache.
Yeah.
It's gone now. And then moving on, unfortunately, I have to say that at our time of recording, we do have to mourn that we did lose two big names in Hollywood. Michelle Trachtenberg
Harriet the Spy.
Harriet the Spy. She was like a staple of my Nickelodeon childhood. She did pass away recently, as well as the amazing Gene Hackman.
I think it was liver. She had a liver transplant, and I guess there was complications afterwards, is what I read.
Oh, okay. I didn't read anything about what happened.
Yeah.
I just know that she passed. Gene Hackman passed, as well as his wife, and we will miss them.
Gene Hackman, one of the greatest actors to ever grace the screen, period. And that's not taking anything away from Michelle Trachtenberg, but Gene Hackman is a pure legend.
Yeah. I mean, Michelle Trachtenberg kind of disappeared from the limelight for a good while. I don't think Gene Hackman ever left the limelight. He was still doing movies up until...
The Royal Tenenbaums. Oh, my Lord. What a movie that is. He's just phenomenal. Playing Popeye Doyle in the French Connection. It's just some crazy. He was in that Will Smith movie, the spy movie, where Will Smith didn't know he was like hacked something by accident or something. He just did Lex Luthor,
Superman. Yeah,
he just range, man. That man had range.
He did not play the same thing in everything.
No, he did not.
Like certain other actors.
You will be missed.
Well, let's jump back to Marvel for a second. Marvel's Armor Wars. Have you seen anything about that? The TV show that they're looking at?
No, because I don't care.
Well, supposedly it's going to get real deep into Rhodey's backstory and...
Just make a War Machine movie then.
Well, here's the thing.
Just make a War Machine movie. That's fine.
Well, I did read that. I guess they're talking about it, but...
Just do him.
With Armor Wars, unfortunately... I'm not upset about it.
Or whoever.
Oh, no, please don't. Armor Wars has been downgraded from a full television show down to a single movie.
Just do a single cartoon special.
There you go.
45 minutes, done.
But I'm also reading that there is talk of possibly canceling the project altogether. Apparently, following the severe backlash from Secret Invasion and how they handled that, there's been a lot of speculation as to whether...
with each other?
I think it's because it's going to be the same style, like that kind of espionage, more serious.
Oh.
I mean, of all the Marvel TV shows, which one? I think Loki and WandaVision and Agatha All Along
I'm just
are the
trying to
only
think why
ones that
everything
did
needs to all of a sudden be espionage. Why do we got to start doing?
Well, okay, maybe not espionage, but more like government style. Because
no, it's the same type shit. I know what you're saying.
Okay,
like Winter Soldier stuff. Like they're all trying to be that.
But yeah, so what I'm reading is that the backlash from that might have caused the complete cancellation. So we'll see what happens.
Out since then?
I know it's been at least a year.
Yeah, fans are weird. Fans are weird, man.
Yeah,
there's probably somebody sitting there right now going, "Really, you liked The Gorge? Really?"
Oh, absolutely. Do you know how many people I talked to that said it was a mediocre movie?
Somebody probably quote what was there was the meme video about Snow White coming out and is like, even if I watched this on a plane, I would walk out of the theater.
Oh, that is fantastic. I like that.
Yeah.
But no, that's one thing that we have come to terms with, the fact that our opinions are our opinions. Everyone is welcome to their own.
As long as they're not hurting anybody.
For example, I won't name names. You know who you are. There's someone out there that thinks the Flash movie is the best superhero movie ever. And I hate to tell you this, but I strongly disagree.
Yikes.
As a big Flash fan, I cannot get behind you on that one.
I'll throw in one more thing here. And because I just read this shit yesterday, it was this whole report about how DC is going under already. The movies aren't even out yet. And they're going on. They're already making so many mistakes. They're scrapping the authority. They're scrapping this. They're scrapping that. They're, like, calm down, people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's actually get a movie out first. We've already seen a TV show. They just released an image today of lanterns.
Oh, okay.
Of I don't know the actor that's next to the dude from the football TV show. The Tim Riggins movie show, Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
One of the most amazing football TV shows ever. But I mean, like, let's just wait. Pump the brakes, okay?
I mean, if you want to be honest and fair, people thought Iron Man was going to flop because
I thought it was.
Before that movie came out, not that many people followed the comics for Iron Man. He wasn't considered yes, he was an A-lister, but he wasn't really that well known to non-comic book diehards. You said yourself, the first time you saw the Captain America trailer, the original Captain America,
everything looked plasticky.
You didn't think it was going to go well. And
The scene where the sub, when the guy, Captain America just gets turned, the guy
he
steals the
swims
thing,
underwater.
and then he like goes in that sub and goes under. When they were lowering the sub in the trailer, I was like, oh no, that sub looks like it's made out of straight plastic. This isn't. Oh man,
And it ended up being
that was it. I liked the movie.
Of what, 36 Marvel movies. It is my favorite to this day. I love that movie.
Not my favorite, but it's still a good movie.
We talked about it before. Which one was your favorite?
Oh man, there's been so many of them out now.
I know John's was the Marvel Deadpool, which I have to fight you with, John. That is not part of the original Marvels.
I really like the Civil War. I do.
Well, that is a really good one too. Winter Soldier was solid too. All of the Captain Americas, except the new one, are extremely solid.
I like most of the movies. I really do. I don't really have a lot of beef with it. But we can sit here for an hour and talk about that.
Oh, absolutely. So that is not fantasy.
I'm gonna pull the plug here. We got to pull the plug.
All right.
Or we're gonna have another 5-hour episode that you're gonna have to edit down to 3.5. Okay.
Last thing I have on my list of new and geek is I am extremely happy and proud to say that I have finished draft number 1 of the book I'm writing.
But is it any good?
Probably not, but I mean,
I've read 3/4 of it, and it is a good read.
A prologue with 31 chapters. My
prologue is like 2 or 3 chapters.
I went through, and you can do the word count.
Yeah,
and it's around 110,000 words. I didn't know I knew that many words.
There's a lot of these and those.
No, every single word is different. None of them repeat.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing that repeats anywhere in there at all.
Do you know there was a guy who actually wrote a book and he didn't use the letter E anywhere, which is the most commonly used letter in the alphabet, and somehow he did a whole book and never used the letter E.
Well, that's some skill, I guess. Yeah.
Kudos
to whoever that guy was that, he's so popular, people don't know his name.
Yep. All right, so that is new and geek from both of us. Are you ready to get into this?
I am. I feel like we rambled a lot there.
We did. We absolutely did. Michael, would you please give us a quick rundown? What is urban fantasy?
All right, well, when we first put this together, we were going to do modern fantasy. That's what you pitched. This was your pitch.
Well, yes, modern fantasy.
And
you found that it's commonly known as urban fantasy.
That's what Wikipedia and some other sources said. And I was like, all right, well, that makes sense. They're usually in city-type settings. So we're talking about, in this specific episode, we're talking about movies from like the 1970s until now. Stuff that takes place Civil War, World War I, or, back medieval times. Those aren't counting. We're not counting movies that take place in another realm like Narnia or Lord of the Rings or stuff like that. If you've been transported, if you are a Black Knight with a jersey on, like Martin Lawrence, and you get transported, that movie doesn't count. We're talking about stuff that takes place New York City, Chicago, and it could be a foreign city as well. But as long as it takes place roughly the modern times, that's what we're going to talk about here today.
No time travel like Beastmaster 2.
Correct. Now, there's going to be some overlay of like vampires and werewolves and stuff, but mainly we're talking about magical fantasy, sword and sorcery taking place in our time. We didn't include, I'm sure that, and like I said, there is some overlaps. We didn't include a lot of deity, divine stuff. Basically, if it's like all mythology, there's going to be a lot of witches, a lot of warlocks, magic users, stuff like that. That's what we're kind of talking about in this episode. So basically, fantasy, magical stuff that happens in a city type environment is what we're going to talk about today.
Right. Things like Underworld or Bruce Almighty did not make the cut.
Yeah.
Underworld is vampires and
and it is a fantasy subgenre, but it's not magical. We're going more magical here.
Bruce Almighty, you're looking at like full-blown deity level magic, so to speak. We are looking at urban fantasy. I don't know how else.
Once we start getting into them, you'll understand. And before we get into any of them, there will be movies that take place. I think my list, all the list of movies we have were early 80s all the way till now. So we'll let you know that every movie we're going to talk about is going to have spoilers. We might talk about the ending. We might talk about the villain. We might talk about the plot. We might talk about other little intricate things, the plot twist. Now, we're going to spend an hour each one of these. We're going to kind of breeze through them. We're going to tell you why we think these are included. Do we recommend these movies? What are our ratings? Do they suck? Do they not suck? Yada, yada, yada. But with that being said, I'm going to quickly go through a list of TV shows, and then you can go through your TV shows. These are, we at first we're going to be like, hey, well, there's so many good TV shows. And we sat here for 10 minutes. We're like, well, listen, we just listed off like 50 TV shows here. We can't do this. We just can't.
Well, that's why we ended up
There's too much washing.
We had to put some type of criteria down on, okay, what are we actually going to cover? Otherwise, our list would be absurd. I only have like 6 things on my list, 6 movies I've managed to watch recently.
Well, I made a master list.
Yeah.
Like a guide of movies I thought should be included.
We're not going to touch on them all. Like, there's just so many.
Well, very briefly. I sent you a message. I cut out like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
TV shows. If you want some modern urban fantasy TV show, Supernatural, Grimm, Motherland, Fort Salem. I don't know if it's called Winx or Winx. I did watch a little bit of that. Buffy, Hemlock Grove, Dresden Files, Constantine, The Gates, Vampire Diaries, Teen Wolf, Once Upon a Time, Sabrina, both of them, Wizards of Waverly Place, Mortal Instruments, Discovery of Witches, Mayfair Witches, American Horror Story. There's a whole entire season on witches there, and another one. WandaVision, Agatha, and The Magicians. Those are just, like, if you want some magic, spell work stuff going on, those ones will probably have it in there somewhere. So as far as the movies, what's the first one you have? Did you just go down the list like I had in that order? Or did you just type it up as the ones you watched?
I typed them up in the order that I watched them.
All right, well, let's go in the order that you watched them, because I have watched them, and then we'll go to the ones you didn't watch.
Are you sure? Because they are not in chronological order at all.
No, these aren't 100% chronological order either.
So when we decided to do this, I decided to go back to one of my favorite movies when it came out, but then unfortunately I didn't watch it again after like 2 or 3 times when it came out. So the first one I went back to check out was Nicolas Cage in The Sorcerer's Apprentice. 2010, IMDb gave it a 6.1 out of 10. And let me just say, I didn't remember a lot of this movie. So what is The Sorcerer's Apprentice? ChatGPT calls it a modern-day fantasy adventure film produced by Disney following Balthazar Blake, played by Nicolas Cage, a centuries-old sorcerer in present-day Manhattan. Now, while that sounds like time travel, it's not, because he lived all the way until present day, and the actual story takes place present day. So that's why it was able to make the cut. It follows him searching for the one person capable of deleting the evil sorceress Morgana. So yes, we are jumping back to Merlin, Morgana, like that time period.
I think this is a good place to start, though, because Merlin, when you think wizard, he's the first person you probably think of other than Gandalf or Dumbledore. That's
where it starts, and then comes to modern day. We discover that Jason Stutler, played by, how do you pronounce his last name? Jay Baruchel, I don't know, whatever. Just an average college student with an untapped magical potential. Here, long story short, turns out that he is probably going to be the chosen one, or whatever you want to call it, and it follows him trying to learn.
He's the Prime Meridian.
What he's
Didn't
doing.
you just watch this movie? It's the Prime Meridian.
Meridian.
Whatever. Meridian.
Prime Meridian is a place on the
I know,
planet.
It's on a map. It's about to be renamed. Don't worry about it.
Oh. So that is The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Takes place in New York. We see lots of magic, lots of learning magic, a few Disney shout-outs like dancing brooms, and...
Yeah, it's a live-action remake of the Mickey Mouse deal. Yeah.
Basically. And all in all, it's a great movie. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, Otto Octavius is in it.
Yes, he is.
Alfred Molina.
Yep.
Fantastic.
So what makes this urban fantasy?
Well, you said it's in modern times. Everything we're talking about is modern fantasy, but it's in modern times. It's in a city. It takes place now. There's cars. They talk about, he even says in the car, are you talking about magic? Or are you talking about science? And he says, yes.
So what I have, like a little criteria that kind of links the two together, just a few things that I've noticed bridging pretty much all the movies. There's always, well, first off, it's a modern day setting with magic, like you said. But then it always seems like there's some type of hidden, like, magical society of some sort. Or, like, even if it's just one person, like that secret magic user, I guess you could say.
Who's the secret magic user in this society?
Nicolas Cage. He is just blending in as like an antique store owner, that type of thing. There's always that cover because, they can't know. Like, people can't know that magic exists. Seems to be a very common trope in these movies.
I don't know, man. They were using it pretty fragrantly.
They were.
Even the street musician, or he's like the David Blaine guy.
Oh, yeah.
That actor went on to do great things in Black Mirror and other shows. He's so skinny in this one. I was like, man, I know that guy from somewhere. The whole bathroom scene was pretty cool. But like he was, like, hey, I'm a real magician,
Yeah.
Like,
And then there's the protagonist bridging the two worlds together. Like there's always that character that is connecting the old world to the current world, making it the modern twist. And then of course you get like your magic infused technology or artifacts, like using, like in this case, the mirror to trap somebody in it. But then they also had the urn that you could, get trapped into and stuff like that. Like there's, he uses his magic to turn the one, what do you call it, like the falcon headpiece on the building into a real flying metal falcon eagle.
He's half sentient
thing.
because he talks to it.
Right. Like it takes modern day technology, or in this case, I guess, architecture, and it makes it magical. And then you often see a conflict between magic and humanity. There's always that, should you use it? Should people know about it type of conflict? And so those are the things I looked for when watching these movies. And I found that pretty much every one that I watched has something that falls into those categories.
Yes.
Yes. What did you think of it? You watched it, right?
Well, I liked it better than the critics did when it came out. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I think this is my second and a half time watching it. I give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's a good telling, a good remake of the original. I think the way the magic is done, when I look at these type of movies, what needs to go well for me to get a good rating is like when you're going to do the magic, the sorcery or witchcraft, whatever it's going to be, do the spells seem realistic, like plausibly if the magic did exist. These look slick. The special effects in here are really well done. It's a fun, engaging movie. Jay has some good comedy in it. Nicolas Cage is kind of a gruffy guy. Alfred Molina is fucking stupendous in this movie.
He always is.
Even what's her face? Can't think of her real name at the time. The blonde girl. And she's still doing great things now. It's just a good movie. I recommend it.
Yeah.
It's not too kiddie, but it's not too adult. You have, I think the main villain lady is the one that played the Board Queen, possibly. And Star Trek Next Generation and First Contact and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure that was her. So,
well, and like you said,
Star Trek, a lot of these movies have a Star Trek connection.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that I've noticed.
Well, like you said too, the special effects. I mean, this came out in 2010. Okay, it doesn't sound like it was that long ago, but you got to think that was 15 years ago now. We were just getting some of the more intense special effects. So the fact that a lot of
this one does a lot better than some of the ones that are coming out today.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like the fact that a lot of this was very seamless. I mean, I'm thoroughly impressed. And there's actually some later on the list that are even older that I thought the special effects were extremely well done.
Oh, there's some on this list that are not well done.
There's that too.
But we'll get to those. Yeah, we won't take as long on every single one of them. Just the ones that we thoroughly
really enjoyed. Yeah. So that's The Sorcerer's Apprentice. That's where I started this journey. What about you? What was the first one you dove into?
The first one I dove into for this was Big Trouble in Little China. I kind of went mostly in chronological order. It's a 1986 action movie directed by John Carpenter. The story follows Jack Burton, a truck driver who helps his friend Wang Chi rescue Wang's fiancée from a gang of San Francisco Chinatown gangster dudes. They get entangled in an ancient mystical battle involving sorcerers, martial arts, supernatural beings. The film combines humor, action, fantasy elements, making it a cult classic. And it is a cult classic. Our buddy John loves this movie. My buddy Ryan absolutely loves this movie. I'd seen it like maybe one or so times, kind of passingly. I was like, that was cool, whatever. I've always been a Kurt Russell fan, but now that I took the time to actually watch it, beginning to end, this is a hell of a fun movie. You got martial arts, you got dudes in alleyways throwing lightning, like Mortal Kombat. This is pre-Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Shit's just such a good cast. Like, so many amazing people. Kim Cattrall's in this. They're searching for the Asian with the green eyes because they're rare, which is brought up in National Lampoon's movie at one point. But it's John Carpenter hits the pacing in this is just exactly where you need it to be. Kurt Russell playing a guy who looks like he could kick the shit out of you, but every time he tries to do something well, it goes wrong. He fumbles over himself. The other guy's not that he doesn't do anything in this movie, but you got monsters in like sewer tunnels. You got guys changing forms. You have immortality. You got people putting curses and spells, people flying up through the air, explosions. This thing is a thrill ride from the Pork Chop Express when it first starts in the movie all the way down. And it's this classic modern telling of we need to go rescue a girl from the evil villain. We need to go rescue the princess. Only this time you got like two princesses.
So
Like,
he's
it's just-
Mario.
Kinda.
He has to go rescue the princess.
In a way, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I watched this once back in high school.
I mean, it lived on TNT and TBS for like forever.
I don't remember. I really don't remember it though. For some reason, I thought it was Patrick Swayze. So that's how much I remember.
This is a movie that John and I argue with, and we brought it up again. We texted each other, and I said, "You know how you watch this movie for the podcast?" And he goes, "Oh," and I was like, "Imagine if this movie and The Golden Child, which we'll talk about, are in the same universe." He goes, "Well, it'd been cool if Jack Burton didn't die." I was like, well, "Jack Burton doesn't die." He's like, "Yeah, he does." I said, "We've been through this." Jack Burton does not die. So there's a creature at the very end that crawls onto his truck, but then the movie ends. It goes to the credits. He goes, "No, he killed." I said, "No, he did not." And he goes, "Well, the guy at the beginning's talking about his death." I said, "No, he just says, leave him alone. He did great. You leave him alone." He never says he dies. For God's sakes. And if I'm wrong out there, everybody, show me the proof where Jack Burton actually dies in this movie. Because Jack Burton is not dead at the end of this movie. He is driving along.
I can't tell you how badly I want someone to get into an argument about this one.
Please.
I would love it if somebody was like,
but nobody will, because I'm
"Actually,"
right. And Jack Burton is not dead. Give me the actual dialogue in the beginning where the one dude with the weird eye, who's been in a lot of kick-ass martial arts movies, show me where he says that he's actually dead. That's all I'm saying. Great movie. I recommend this to anybody. I give this a 9 out of 10. This movie is a actual modern classic. Martial arts, sorcery, comedy, action. This movie has it all. It might be, next to Halloween, maybe my favorite John Carpenter movie ever.
Wow, that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Now you said 1986.
1986.
How
And
are
the special
the-
effects are good.
I was just gonna say, how were the special effects?
Well, I mean, there's like lightning that's zipping around people like it does in Highlander, but it still looks decent.
was it better than Beastmaster 2 lasers?
Yes. Yeah.
Because those were bad.
Oh, that movie's it's well. If you
That
go back
movie's
to our-
something.
yeah, go back and listen to the Beastmaster episode. We'll we briefly.
Enter the Beastmaster.
Oh my goodness.
Chasing ferrets through terracotta pipes.
Yes.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you're missing out.
True. What's the next movie you have? And you need to watch this at some point in your free time.
No,
Watch this movie.
yeah, that could be a cool Patreon one. We'll sit down. You'll make me watch it.
Oh,
I don't know.
We'll see.
Actually, speaking of which, I did get a recommendation from a listener that when we start getting more Patreon members and we can afford it, we should rent the local theater, because I guess you can rent it for like birthday parties or whatever, and they'll play the movie that you request. I guess if you own it, like you give them the DVD or something. I'm not 100% sure yet. And he was saying we should have like a viewing party of some possibly B-list movie or something, or just.
Oh, I got a couple.
I mean, it could be a lot of fun. I mean, he was saying about like pausing it and we could do like our own like Mystery Science Theater 3000 commentary, but that could get out of hand really quick.
But yeah, because there'd be a lot of people in there.
But it could also be.
Q&A.
I like the idea. I think it could be a lot of fun to if it's done correctly.
Yeah, I agree.
So the next one on my list is one that you recommended to me on our master list that I'd never seen.
What was that?
Vin Diesel in The Last Witch Hunter, 2015. IMDb has as a 5.9 out of 10, and that's the first thing I saw when I went to look it up. And
It bombed at the box office, I remember.
all I could think was if I see a 5 in general, 5.9 even, I think, okay, what am I getting into? It was a fantastic movie.
I think a lot of those ratings get skewed by people that go, I just don't like. Well, who's that dude in The Simpsons that doesn't like anything?
Oh, yeah.
I think that there's just like a million of those people that
Well,
just
a lot of-
instantly give it a 1 or a 2
And a
just
lot
to
of
be
people
assholes.
just don't like Vin Diesel. I mean,
And he doesn't have a lot of range. Let's be clear.
Well, yeah.
He really doesn't have a lot of range. But anyway, you go ahead.
So-
What did you think about this movie?
I thought it was great. Vin Diesel is a warrior from, what was it, like the 1400s or something like that, 1500s, Vikings,
I had AI do all mine too.
hunting down it doesn't have that written down. I'm just trying to remember. But he's
Viking age. Viking.
Yeah, Vikings. Like they're hunting down a witch that basically sent a plague out and killed. Like they make brief mention it. Like killed pretty much the whole town, the families, the wives, the children. Everybody's dead. They're hunting it down. They find it. Stuff happens. He thinks he killed it, but he's also cursed with immortality. So he spends the rest of his days hunting down witches and warlocks and trying to help them.
Yeah, and he goes hand in
Not as
hand
much
with Michael
kill
Caine.
them, but yeah.
And then Frodo Baggins.
And then yeah, that was a weird addition.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was cast properly, but whatever.
No, yeah. But yeah, we find out very quickly, hey, of course, just like any movie, things are happening in the background and escalating quickly. And You told me Kit Harington's wife, what was her name? I can't remember. Is in this.
Ukraine, you regret or whatever.
She was fantastic.
She's fucking awesome in that movie.
Like,
and they are still married too, by the way.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah,
I remember you weren't sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
So the movie, all in all, it hit all my check marks.
I like the secondary bad guy. He's in Severance season 2.
Oh, he just kind of shows up. Yeah, the big dude.
Yeah, is that he was in The Tourist on Netflix this last year and fucking awesome. Season 1.
Man, but I mean, like, this hit all my check marks. Modern day setting with magic. Check. Hidden magical society. They have the whole Axe and Cross society.
There's like Catholics helping them and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, which Frodo Baggins is apparently part of. Then we have the protagonist bridging the two worlds. Like I said, Calder is literally, he's been alive for how many hundreds of years. He's done it all. He's seen it all. We have
Calder's not a bad name either.
No, I did like that.
Calder,
I did like
decent.
that. I really like that they really twisted modern day technology with the magic. Like everything from, we have cars, we have guns and stuff like that, to, well, let's shake it up a bit. I mean, yeah, there's guns and stuff, and then the one guy's like blowing fire, and it was just a fun movie. Okay, it was dark, it was very, very gritty. Which,
how about like they have the apartment scene where it looks like a normal apartment after the one, and then he like, no, and he realizes at the very end the dead one, and he's like, no, like the power that it takes to disguise that whole entire murder scene.
He says, like, there was a cloaking spell, and then when he finally lifts it, like the whole place is just in ruins.
Fucking wrecked, like a rhino was through there.
What really got me was after the bar scene, Chloe, played by Rose Leslie, like you said, Kit Harington's wife, she goes home and like she's sleeping, and all of a sudden she wakes up because she feels something's weird and starts turning on all the lights. And they never say it, but you can tell she's trying to stay in the light. She's avoiding
just
the
slowly
shadow.
Closes the fridge.
Well, like, because like she's a potions person.
Well, she had all those plants, all those lights are, and then they
start blowing out after they get really, really bright. So she opens the fridge and stands there, and and then like she takes 2 steps forward and you just see it shutting. It's like,
this movie has, screw the ratings. This thing gets a bad rap. This movie is fun.
Yes.
And does Vin Diesel do more than 3 facial expressions? No. No, but that doesn't matter because he does what he's supposed to do. He murders witches.
Yes, and we get
bad ones. And not all, I think he's just not out there he does have a heart. He does care. He's not indiscriminately just killing witches. Like there's laws.
You see it right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right in the beginning, he's on the airplane and he can just sense something is going on. So
the power in those crystals was pretty crazy.
He finds the girl who is a obvious, very, very novice witch practitioner.
She's a hedge witch, like the magician.
Basically.
Yeah.
And he sits down next to her, and instead of like, and she even says like, "Are you going to kill me?" He's like, "Nah." No. And while he's fixing her mistake, he's explaining to her, "Hey, here's what you're doing wrong. Don't do this again."
And then he does it himself later on.
That's true.
I remember watching it the first time, and then you find out about the twist about who's kind of bad. And then I'm watching it the second time, and I forgot all about that twist. I got about 3/4 of the way through. I'm like, dude's wait a minute. God damn it. Yep. I fucking remember now. You slimy piece of shit.
There was an exact moment.
Jack Quaid looking son of a bitch.
There was an exact moment that made me think, tell me this character isn't what they're all cracked up to be. And then like 30 seconds later, they make the big reveal, and I'm like, you son of a...
Yeah.
That's The Last Witch Hunter 2015. Go check it out. Like you said, I mean, it's an underrated movie. It's fantastic. It's a lot of fun.
8 out of 10. And
it's Vin Diesel, and he's racing cars. So, oh wait, no, he's not. So,
no, dude, he has a Maserati in this one or something?
Aston Martin.
Aston Martin.
That's a nice car.
Dude, he derails it out. She's like, oh, at least it's not red, is what Frodo says.
Yeah, I do like the one part when he pulls over and he hands Elijah Wood money, and he's like, what's this for? And he's like, what did he say? A cab. He's like, you can't. He's like, you're not ready for what happens next. And he laughed.
Yeah. Goodbye.
But yeah, The Last Witch Hunter, super fun watch. I'm so glad you recommended that one.
Yeah, I can't remember what city that's in. Is that New York?
I think it was supposed to be New York.
A New York type place. Yeah, I like the bar scene. I like the fact that I've always liked ideas of like hidden societies, or not even like super hidden. It's just like the regular humans or muggles, or as in another movie, I think they're called mundanes. I think is where they're like just regular people like us. We can't really see the magic.
And I do have to say, the girl who was working at the bar with the main character, with Rose, or no?
Yeah.
Chloe. She's the one that was like, you need to leave. You know, it's dude. I had to look it up. I thought that was the chick that plays Margot from The Magicians.
Oh, I didn't.
It's
think
not
that at all. No,
But at a quick glance, it looked just like her.
that would have been cool.
Turns out it's not.
I feel like this guy, those magicians in the Witch Hunter could exist somewhere nearby. I feel like they could.
How much I would love to just see like an MCU, but
With
of just
magic.
everything.
Yeah.
Like you see him racing down the road to go get a witch, and in the background you see, fucking Seinfeld walking by. Like just the stupid stuff like that would just connect everything into one really messed up universe.
Fucking Kramer. My goodness.
All right. So I'm not going to harp on this one any longer. What do you have next?
Well, this one will be brief, and then I'll go on to my other one. The Highlander series. We have a whole entire episode on it.
We do.
We've included this. Basically, I just included this because they're swords. And part 3 has the sorcerer Nikano, so it counts. People are using magical spells in part 3. They're using illusions and they're going through walls and things. There's immortals, and when somebody asks them what's going on, Connor McLeod usually replies, "It's a kind of magic."
He does.
There's a whole entire soundtrack for you. It's a kind of magic from Queen. So we won't really go into that. We have a whole entire podcast, but it's a very good. The first movie is just a 9 out of 10 for me. I love that movie. I've talked on length about how much I love that movie. The other ones are good-ish at times, but that first movie is really good. I mean, you have immortals trying to kill each other in New York City to try to get the prize, which is supernatural power.
Yep. Go back. I want to say it was 2, maybe 3 episodes ago. Go check it out if you haven't already. That was a lot of fun. That episode was so much fun to do. However, that second movie, man.
Well, it's
that was rough.
It's a future one.
Okay, that was rough.
Yeah. So I won't really go into that one. Instead, I'll talk about the 1986 movie, The Golden Child. Have you seen this?
No, it was on my list, but I didn't get to it.
The Golden Child is from 1986. It's an action comedy film directed by Michael Ritchie and starring Eddie Murphy. The story revolves Chandler Jarrell, which is a weird name that they gave him, a private investigator specializing in finding children. They don't really explain why. He doesn't do adults. He only wants to find missing kids. He is tasked with rescuing a mystical Tibetan child who is believed to be the savior of all mankind. The child is being kidnapped by an evil sorcerer named Sardo Numpsa, played by the Lannister from Game of Thrones.
Jamie Lannister?
His dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but I can see him in my head.
Yeah, dude, that scene in Game of Thrones, I just jump over there where he's just slicing the deer, doing the whole deer thing in the first, man, it's so good. And this guy always plays he was all the Last Action Hero, he was the bad guy in that too.
That's going back a minute.
Yeah, as Chandler embarks on his quest, he encounters various supernatural challenges and discovers his own hidden potential. There's elements of action, comedy, fantasy, and Eddie Murphy's signature humor. I wrote down here, the Golden Child has mystical powers. When he touches you can be the most vile piece of shit. You remember in Ace Ventura, he delivers the box at the beginning. Yeah. Sounds broken. That guy's in it, Ty Cobb. He doesn't really talk, but he's like this kind of Neanderthalish guy for the bad dudes. Well, he touches his hand and like turns him good. Yeah, and then he like makes this Pepsi can turn into this dancing thing.
You said it was Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy's in it, yeah.
And it wasn't a comedy?
It is a comedy.
Oh, it is?
It is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, from the sounds of it sounded like a more serious movie.
Yeah, I mean, I
didn't think he did serious movies in the 80s.
Yeah.
Or 90s.
Yeah, there's like a snake lady that has like the whole entire tail. Special effects aren't the greatest. There's like some claymation things. It is funny at times, and I remember it a lot better as a kid, but rewatching it as an adult, I don't think is as funny as what it used to be. There's a lot of like dead space in the movie. I don't know if the editing's weird. I mean, it's a good tale of good versus evil, with rescuing an artifact, and you got to go on a quest, and there's resurrection magic. I give this movie a 7 out of 10. As a kid, I would be like, oh, this movie's amazing. It's fun. It's an early Eddie Murphy thing. I think editing really screwed this up. Like, there's this part where he's fighting bikers in an abandoned house, trying to find out where this kid is and things. It's
Roadhouse.
It's kind of a jumble. When you're younger, you don't really notice these things, but as an adult, and you've seen probably over 1 million movies, you're probably like, "Oh, who edited this movie?" I'd love to see this get remade or get a sequel.
Who would you cast?
As in the Eddie Murphy character? Oh man, I don't know. I didn't really think that far. Not Jack Quaid.
Don Cheadle.
John Cheadle. He's getting a little bit older now.
He is getting older, and he's too busy trying to get War Machine made. So
I don't know how I'd cast. I'd have to think about that.
Would you put Adam Sandler in that role?
You know what? Yeah, Adam's he's getting old though. You need a younger dude here.
Let's redo The Sorcerer's Apprentice with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
But
well, what movie do you have next that's not boring? Or maybe it is. I don't know. What do you have next?
So the next one I have was absolutely not boring. It was another one that I'd never seen, and I'm so glad yet again that you recommended it. It turns out I am not well versed in this urban fantasy, and I don't know why, because I love this type of stuff.
I'm always looking for fantasy movies. Always.
So 2013, Mortal Instruments City of Bones. Again.
Nahidi.
So this one is actually lower than The Last Witch Hunter by 0.1. It was a 5.8 out of 10. Looking at the cover poster, and I didn't watch a trailer.
I saw it on DVD. I didn't go to the theater for this.
I didn't watch a trailer, nothing. I jumped right into it.
Uh-huh.
And, the image comes up for, hey, here's the movie you're about to watch. It reminded me of like Maze Runner or, one of those like kind of young adult action-y movies.
Do you know where the blonde guy who helps her out, do you know where he's from?
It took about half of the movie to figure out that was number one. Vecna from Stranger Things. Yeah, he was really young.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow. So
stupid villain guy.
I went into this having absolutely no idea what I was getting into. I knew nothing at all about it. And it's another one that I give it like a solid 7.5 out of 10. Like, it was such a good movie. It was super entertaining. The whole plot to it, I thought was really clean and well done. And I was excited because I thought there was more. There wasn't.
What is your simple plot that your AI? I said AI, give me a simple one, like simple short plot.
Yeah, I did that too, and it gave me like 7 paragraphs. So I had to cut everything down.
Oh,
all right. Okay. So for Mortal Instruments, City of Bones, I have a fantasy film based on Cassandra Clare's novel. The story follows Clary. The story follows Clary Frey, played by Lily Collins, a seemingly ordinary teenager in New York City. This one does specify the city, who discovers that she's a shadow hunter.
Oh, I think Golden Child was San Francisco, by the way.
Oh, okay. So a shadow hunter, a warrior.
LA, I'm sorry.
A warrior with angelic blood tasked with protecting the world from demons. And when her mother, played by Lena Headey, is kidnapped, I'll be honest with you, I thought she died in the beginning. I didn't know that she was kidnapped. I missed something there. Clary is thrust into the hidden world of shadow hunters, downworlders, which are vampires, warlocks, werewolves, fae, and the like, and powerful magical forces. With the help of Jace Whalen, played by Jamie Campbell Bower, or
that's the dude from Stranger Things,
Vecna, a skilled shadow hunter, and her best friend Simon, played by Robert Sheehan. Did you recognize him?
Yeah.
From Umbrella Academy.
Well, and the other dude's from, he's one of the dwarves in the Hobbit movies. The werewolf guy with the gray in his hair.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's Keeley. Gets shot in the leg or whatever.
Man.
I'm telling you, there's some people in this movie.
Hey, we talked about it off mic, and we'll get to
the one really angry dude's from The Strain that I was talking about earlier.
Okay.
The big fucking dude that's beating the shit out of everybody. Yeah.
Well, and we'll talk about it again later. There's a movie we talked about off mic that we forgot how many very big names now were in it back then. And I can't wait to get to that one. That's such a good movie. She embarks on a journey to find and locate the Mortal Cup, a powerful artifact that her mother supposedly hid from the villain Valentine, played by Jonathan Rhys-Meyers.
Weakest part of the movie right there.
It really was.
That dude is fucking whatever.
I didn't like him at all.
I don't like him in really anything he's in.
But
Rhys-Meyers or whatever your name is.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was close, damn.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked it, though. Like, the movie blends the supernatural with, like, action and a little bit of romance, even though it gets a little funky at one point.
Well, that's because it didn't get a sequel.
Yeah, and even mythology. Like, it merges so many things.
And wizards
And then I found out it's based on, like I said, based on a book. Apparently there's, 7 books, 6 or 7 books.
Well, there's also a TV show of 3 seasons, and they do have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So it does get an actual ending.
Any of the same actors?
No, it's all different.
Completely recast. Okay.
Yeah, I looked at the new cast. I was like, eh.
Does it play off of the movie at all? Kind of like Stargate? Or is it a whole standalone?
I think it's all by itself.
Okay. I mean, I'm definitely going to check it out because I thought the entire concept of the movie was fantastic. Like the point where
I don't know if it's good or not. I have no idea.
There's a point in it where she sees something happen and freaks out and nobody else can see it. And that's when the shadow hunters realize, hey, there's something different about this girl. And the dog, you find out it was a demon, and like that actually kind of.
What do you think about the special effects though? Because they were pretty fucking decent.
For what I say, it was 2013. I think.
For that dog sequence
it was
in the apartment.
So well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dog like morphing.
CC Pounder's in it. That whole thing. Yeah, the lady downstairs, the tarot reader.
Oh yeah. No, it was another one of those that it completely flew under my radar when it came out. I wish I would have found it back then because it was absolutely fantastic. And I had so much more time to read back then. I guarantee I would have read through the series.
It's a lot of people, it was a very big book series. I mean,
see, I never heard of it.
I didn't hear of it until the movie.
And I found Amazon, like $50. You can buy like one of those kind of boxes that have all the books sleeved into them. I might actually do that. I might get them at some point and read them because it has my attention. I really want to know what happens.
I get a super cheap copy of book one off of like Thrift Books and check it out first before I bought the entire set. Because it might read not well.
To be fair, there's an eBay seller that I like to use. It's like second sales or something like that. I guess they buy out libraries as they close. And I've never paid more than I think $4.99 for a book on there.
Oh, that's good.
Like, and I've gotten some like The Martian hardback, like some really nice books on there, and they're almost always in like almost mint condition. So that is my next one was Mortal Instruments, City of Bones. Definitely recommend that one. Check it out. What's your rating? So yeah, I've realized I've been giving the IMDb, but not mine for anything.
Well, you did for some of them. So what do you give this one?
I give this a solid 7. I
gave it a 7 out of 10 as well.
And I even shared with you I finally pinned down my rating system. It's pretty close to yours. A 7 to me is a solid rewatchable movie that I would get in the mood for and put on. Like I might just be like, I want to watch this again. That's a 7 to me. And this is
it's 7.
I liked it.
I think 7s are good rewatchable movies. They have some mistakes, but the goodness of the movie kind of overcompasses them.
Yeah.
Whereas in a 6, they're like, oh my God, this movie's got some issues.
Yeah.
But it's just average, just completely run of the mill. But 7's a good movie.
Well, that is my pick. Like I said, I just watched it literally 2 days ago. I could talk about it all night, but I'm not going to. Go watch it. Michael, what is your next pick?
1996. The Craft. The Craft.
Saw it a very long time ago and never watched it again since.
Well, apparently, I don't know if it was Holly Marie Combs or somebody wanted or tried to get in this movie and it didn't work. Well, they ended up doing Charmed. I guess they, there's a lot of
remade The Craft too, didn't they?
Yeah, that was a TV show that completely bombed and nobody watched it.
Okay.
Yeah. The Craft from 1996 is a supernatural horror movie directed by Andrew Fleming. The story follows Sarah Bailey, a new student at a Catholic high school who befriends a trio of outcast girls who practice witchcraft. Together, they form a coven and begin experimenting with magic to improve their lives. As they gain more power, they face consequences and conflicts both with the group and from external forces. The film explores the themes of friendship, power, and the dangers of misusing magic. The Craft has become a cult classic, and it is known for its dark atmosphere and strong performances by its cast. If you watch The Mentalist, the main girl is the main girl in this one. We also have Fairuza Balk in there, and the Sidney Prescott from Scream is in this as well.
Who's the one that was in Waterboy?
Fairuza Balk.
Okay. That's the only one I recognize.
Yeah. Also in another movie we'll talk about here on this, and The Wizard of Oz 2. She was also in those as well.
Oh, okay.
And also American History X. Well, we're here to talk about The Craft. Have you seen The Craft? Did you say?
Very long time ago.
Okay. So
like at a friend's house in probably middle school.
So this one's a little bit different than the other ones we talked about, which are in major cities like New York and LA and San Francisco, big troubles in San Francisco. And this one takes place more in a small town. I don't know where it's at, but it's more about it's more high school vibes. It's not about, driving around Aston Martins and taking on massive witches. This is your classic tale. I want to use magic to improve my life, but there will be consequences. Like you said earlier, I don't know if it was on or off mic, you said about Mr. Gold's, magic has a price.
Off mic, but yeah.
Yeah, magic has a price for sure. And that's what happens here. You try to hurt the mean girl at school who's rude to you. Well, shit kind of comes back to you. You can make yourself look beautiful, but if your magic is taken away, you get nasty looking. And these girls, I feel for them. They try these things to they want to fall in love with this guy. But, when you get somebody like, I think it's Skeet Aldridge in here, who also went on to do Scream. When you get somebody like that to be obsessed with you, bad things happen. You know, like you're not supposed to. That's why magic. You're not supposed to make people fall in love with you. That's why Genie said it's a bad idea. You're not supposed to do love potions. You know, there's a lot of mistakes that teenage girls and even teenage boys would probably make the same mistakes here too. And it's about friendship. It's about finding your way, dealing with your past. But the actual fantasy element of this is they are witches. They do spells. They do levitate. They battle each other at the end. There's this whole thing about like which one's the good witch, one's the bad witch, and things. You know, how powerful can you get? Can you change the weather? There's it's a fun movie. I give it an 8 out of 10. It's definitely got some rewatch value to it. I think there's a reason it's a classic. What do you
said 8 out of 10?
I give it an 8 out of 10.
Wow,
the performances are really well between these girls. Just the dialogue they have with each other. There's not like huge action sequences. I mean, there's some at the end, but it's just it's a more of a boiled down movie where you don't have to worry about some giant demon dog trying to kill you, or some giant silvery falcon or being thrown through some mirror in a bathroom. This is kind of, get with your buddies and put a fucking star on the ground and try to summon powers. You know what I mean? This is kind of magicians without the comedy. Because shit goes wrong, and right. I recommend it to people. It's a good teenage movie with a little bit of an edge to it.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you have next, or do you have anything to add about the craft? Or what you remember about it? Do you have any questions? Or
I mean, I remember very little. I just know that at that time in my life, that wasn't something I would have watched on my own. I remember it was at a friend's house vaguely, and they had it on. But the whole idea of magic just always fascinated me. Not even witchcraft, not warlocks. Just the idea of conjuring something out of nothing. It just always fascinated me.
I think when I watched this when I was younger, I was watching. We'll talk about it later. For very briefly, like the warlocks. I was watching Necronomicon. I was like all these books that or movies had to deal with like dark magic and sorcery. I was watching them all at this time. So
I think the closest thing to that stuff I was watching was I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
And I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched didn't make it because they take place in the, I think, 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
So they were not modern enough. If anybody's curious why they didn't make it. And they were TV shows.
Great shows,
There was a Bewitched movie, but it was some weird shit where it was they were making the TV show. Like, I didn't like it at all.
It was one of those early, hey, let's make a movie out of this that didn't go.
Yeah, Will Ferrell, like, I'm sorry, man, it didn't work out for you with Nicole Kidman. But there will be Nicole Kidman showing back up for me. So,
whoa.
Yeah, in this list. What do you got?
I have got 2017's Netflix original Bright. Do you remember Bright?
Of course I watched it twice. This time for this, and I remembered it. I watched it when it first came out.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, you just watched it twice?
Yeah.
So I watched it when it first came out on Netflix.
As far as I had the time I did to watch all these. Oh,
that's
my goodness.
true.
I did a lot of rewatching.
I just rewatched this one today. It's 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb. Again,
that's bullshit rating, man.
Like I say, again, so many of these
8 out of 10.
Horrible ratings. I give it a solid 8.
Yeah,
yes, it is a great movie. It is really well done. If you really want to go down that road, it has exceptional commentary on a lot of social issues in society.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just an all-around good movie.
Well, what's the movie about? You want me to do the synopsis, or you want to do the synopsis?
You go right ahead and do your short AI synopsis compared to my 7 chapters that AI gave me.
Well, I tell you what, you read yours quickly and I'll read mine quickly.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Same time.
I'm gonna go.
All right, so I've got directed by David.
It's a fantasy.
Directed by David Ayer, starring Will Smith and Joel Edgerton. Hey, we know that name. What was that called? Dark Matter.
Severance was the only word in my head, and I was like, that is not the correct word.
It's set in an alternate present-day LA, where humans coexist with fantasy creatures such as orcs, elves, fairies, and the like. The story follows LAPD officer Daryl Ward, played by Will Smith, and his orc partner, Nick Jacoby, played by Joel Edgerton, the first orc to ever become a police officer. I told you this off mic. This reminds me of the plot of Disney's Zootopia, where the bunny...
I said that I'd never seen it.
The bunny becomes the first bunny cop, but if you know, you know. So the duo stumbles upon a powerful magical object so rare and dangerous that it can grant immense power to
It's a
anyone
wand.
who wields it.
It's
Yes.
a fucking elder wand. Okay.
Why? Dude, you just gave away the...
Voldemort's looking for it.
as they try to keep the wand out of the wrong hands, they are pursued by corrupt cops, criminal gangs, and a deadly cult led by a dark elf named Lila, played by Numi Rapace.
Naomi Rapace from the Aliens movies.
It doesn't say Naomi, it just says Numi. Noomi.
Is it Numi?
I don't know. Thanks, AI.
Hey, maybe no. It might. Dude, I could be totally wrong on this one. But yeah, she was in the Alien movie we watched.
So they're pursued by a Roomba. The film blends buddy cop action with fantasy elements, exploring the themes of racism, social division, and destiny in a world where magic exists but is feared and controlled.
So is Jacoby a DEI hire?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Son of a...
Wait.
You said it's been touching on some social things going on these days. I'm telling you what.
This
movie, if it was made right now this year, this movie would do so much better than when it first came out.
Oh, absolutely.
So much better.
Absolutely. I agree. It is a really good movie, though.
That synopsis was really close to mine, just with a couple words like mixed around. So good job. Which AI do you use?
ChatGPT.
No, I don't know what Copilot uses. I have no idea.
Probably a variation of ChatGPT. I don't know.
DeepSeek.
Oh, jeez. Which I read actually isn't that great. It basically is just a Chinese knockoff of AI. Like it literally takes all of the work done by the other AI companies and just puts it into one happy package.
I don't know. I sent you the thing where I compared the three AIs together, and I didn't think. Did you see the thing where somebody said something and said, I am something about being carved out of the god of humanity or some shit? Yeah, like I'll have to show it to you later on.
No, I did find one I thought was really funny. Somebody said, tell me a joke about Donald Trump. And it told a joke. Tell me a joke about Joe Biden. It's like, I'm sorry, I try not to get political. It's like,
wait, what?
It's like, bitch, please. You just...
Let's play both sides here.
So I'm not going to lean either way. All I'm going to say is somebody has that sucker leaning in certain directions, okay?
Who's the president again?
Right now? It's that.
Tell me about the movie. Well, you said about the movie Bright. What do you like about the movie Bright, and why is it a good urban fantasy movie?
Well, it takes place in modern day. Like
LA.
we said, LA. It has
grimy LA, not the rookie LA. Like this is grimy.
I mean, it is full blown magic.
This is like Boys in the Hood LA, man. This is like some
Yeah.
That's a good movie, man. I love Boys.
Man, they should have had Martin Lawrence in this too. Then like a Bad Boys, but in the Bright universe. That would have been probably really bad. Actually, I don't know. You have the whole hidden and integrated magic society. In this case, it's basically the elves are like super high quality. I mean, it really looks at social constructs of like the elves are rich, fancy, stick up their ass type people, whereas the orcs are the lower class, can't afford anything. And then you have humans,
I am an orc.
Humans in the middle. They do mention dwarves at one point.
They do very briefly towards the end, the last quarter of the movie, very briefly.
The one orc leader makes mention of like, oh, everybody come together in Miami and have cookouts, and the dwarves and.
Yeah, Miami's way more chill than LA, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. And then we also have, of course, our protagonist who bridges the two worlds. In this case, it's the buddy cop that is reluctant to have the orc as a partner, but at the end of the day is happy to have him. This one really, really goes down that dark and gritty aesthetic that I had said about. Like, there's no question about it. This one took everything to a very dark level.
Yeah, I mean, you got like fucking gangsters. Like you have, think of like Den of Thieves type grittiness. You got these tatted up guys that are trying to get this artifact, get this wand, and they're willing to do anything necessary. It disrupts the peace. You have like the magical police coming after it. It's a good combination. And to think of yourself, and it reminds me in a way of the South African movie where the aliens crash land and then they're treated like
District 9.
Yeah, they're treated like garbage.
Yeah.
Like if aliens really were here, and how would we actually, like, this is here's like if they really did exist. Now, and then it's taken off the Tolkien kind of way, elves are all highty-tighty, and we're all so clean, and we're so much better than you. And they're stronger, they're faster. That one fucking assassin dude, The bald one, the dude's like
Quick.
Agent 47. What's that?
Yeah.
Agent move, the Hitman game. He was basically that dude. Like he just kicking the. It wasn't Timothy Olyphant, but he was still murdering dudes like hard. He just walks out with the jacket on fire and he just like slowly takes it off. Like what the fuck?
Well, it really plays up on the idea of like their reflexes are 10 times faster and they're quicker.
There's like Legolas out there in L.A. just fucking murking people.
Yeah, but you know what? You can't outrun a grenade. So
no, you can't. No.
And I really love the fact that, like, okay, we have orcs, we have elves, we have magic wands. They're still running around using guns and knives. Like,
well, you can still be shot.
Well, I mean, they don't take it to the, like, oh, well, they have to have crossbows or something because they're, like, you're fantasy creatures. No, they're wearing, baseball hats and hoodies and, they're toting around pistols or rifles in some cases. It takes that classic fantasy vibe and mixes it with modern day technology.
And even with the myth of like the Dark Lord is coming with the wand, if they get the wands together, the Dark Lord coming, then somebody's like, that's bullshit. Your damn prophecies, forget it. There's no Dark Lord coming. What's he gonna do anyway? Just like, and
there's even
whatever.
There's even a part where his partner, the orc, even says, like, you humans, like, you're so one dimensional. Like he says
everything's so definite. There's no in between.
Yeah, he's like, like, once your mind is made up, basically, it's made up. And I mean, he's not wrong, but it's just an all-around really good movie.
I think it's a good assessment of humans. A lot of times when we get set in our ways, even though you can have everything right in front of our face, saying everything you're doing right now is left and you should be right, or it's up or down and back or forward. And we're like, yeah, I get that, but I'm still going to go this way.
And I do love how
we are.
I love how fairies are basically just mosquitoes that nobody likes.
So annoying. They're like the size of Barbie dolls, just flying around trying to get
smack them with a broom and
the fairies and the bird feeder again. And I couldn't place that chick. If anybody knows Yellowstone, it took me forever to remember. Will Smith's wife in this movie is in the last couple seasons of Yellowstone, and she's amazing in that show. But yeah, she plays like his nurse wife. This is another movie. Like, I love watching these older movies, and not like super old movies even. Just movies like 5 to 10 years ago. You're like, holy shit, all these people are in these movies? Like the one dude in the wheelchairs, all the tattoos. Like, he plays some lawyer in some TV show I watched for like a couple seasons. Like, he's like a decent actor. I'm like, yeah, it's so good. And Joel Edgerton, he's so big now. Like, he's a great actor.
He did amazing in Dark Matter. I didn't even recognize it was him, his voice or anything.
He's in that UFC movie with Tom Hardy a couple years back.
But
after the brothers,
after I looked up more and I realized it was him, I could see some of his mannerisms. And I thought it was really
good
cool.
Comedy in this.
If you pay attention, his ears twitch. The orc's ears, even though they're like pointed, they twitch every now and then. So it's not just prosthetics. Like, they tried to give it life.
What do you think about the special effects in this? I thought it was
fantastic.
The one lady that's stuck in the wall, that's all I'll say. I thought that was done really well.
Everything about this was done very clean, very well. You could tell it was a high budget movie.
It's called Bright, but it's very dark.
That is true. Yeah. Do you feel that this was meant to be movie number one of maybe like a trilogy or something?
They talked about making another one, and it just wasn't received the way they wanted.
Well, because they talked about 3 wands, to come together, and there's just a few loose ends that I feel like could have really gone somewhere.
Even just to make this back into a TV show to finish it up would have been nice. It really sucks when you get something like this that's so open-ended. I mean, there is an ending, but like there's more to it.
Like Mortal Instruments.
Yes. Like, somebody, this Numi Rapace isn't the only person trying to bring the Dark Lord back. There's other people trying to do this. So.
Well, that's what they said. It was a cult. I mean, so the cult couldn't have been everybody in that little van. Like,
yeah.
But that's what I've got there. Bright from Netflix. Go check it out. That is a fantastic movie. Definitely underrated. What about you? Where are we moving on to next?
Well, I'm going to lump 3 together rather briefly here.
Sure.
Because I know you didn't watch these 3.
How do you know?
Did you watch Hocus Pocus, The Witches, or the remake of The Witches, or Practical Magic?
No.
Okay, then.
I saw Hocus Pocus way back when.
And I'm going to lump these together only because 2 reasons. 1, they're all together on my list next. And 2, I realize they're all witch movies. So why not, right?
All right, fair.
Hocus Pocus definitely takes place in modern times. You got three witches, the Sanderson sisters, who, I mean, if you do not know who the Sanderson sisters are about Hocus Pocus, the second movie's not that great. But if you don't know about, like, if you don't go to Spirit of Halloween and see a whole entire section dedicated to Hocus Pocus, maybe you're not a fan of Halloween at all. Okay, like there's some big things. Sarah Jessica Parker, Bette Midler, the other lady, fantastic. Can't remember her name. I apologize. I mean, a great movie. The second one,
Was it the same three? Did they all come back?
Yes.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah, all three of them come back. Yeah. They're trying to stop them from, I guess, they're stealing immortality from children. So they need to stop them from doing that. I recommend for a good, fun family time, go watch them. Again, it's not a big city. It's a small town. I think it actually takes place in Salem, maybe. Yeah, modern day Salem, it says. So go check that one out. Witches, there's an original and a remake, but there's these witches who are in this massive hotel. It's a convention of witches. There's a small boy and his grandmother that are there at the same time. Well, these witches like peel off their skin because they look like regular humans, and then they really haggity. Like when you think of a witch with the long nose, the crooked nose, the warts and everything, the one kid gets turned into a mouse. Chris Rock does the voice in the second one, which is kind of cool. I don't think it's as good as the original, but they both have their goods, ups and downs.
So they're like the Butterface witches from Beastmaster?
Yeah. Only they're like, you have Anne Hathaway, and then you don't. A lot of good sorcery magic in both these. There's a lot of spell casting. The Hocus Pocus has like this really cool, I put a spell on you. If you remember the original from the Hawkins guy, I think, sang it, and then Marilyn Manson did it. It's got a good montage and dance sequence there. It's really good. Just a good adventure of this kid trying to get back to being a human and his grandmother. And there's a scene where they steal like life from this girl. They put her in a painting, and she lives her whole entire life in a painting. And it was like the most depressing, like scary thing. Like this girl's just stuck in a farm in a painting, and then she gets older. Like it's just it's weird and crazy.
Which movie is that?
The Witches.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of like really dark.
Yeah, it's dark.
Yeah, and the special effects in them, I mean, for Hocus Pocus is in 1993. The original Witches was in 1990, and the remake was in 2020. I guess there was a backlash in the remake because, unbeknownst to Anne Hathaway and the people that made it, there's something going on with people's hands in real life, where like their hands are kind of split down the middle. It's like like some sort of a condition when you're born. And I guess people were like upset that they made the witches with these hands. And she put out an apology. She's like, "Oh, I didn't, we didn't know. I mean, maybe should have done some research. I don't know." But it's pretty decent. But the one I think is better out of these ones is Practical Magic. Practical Magic is, have you ever seen this?
No.
I'd seen bits of it, I think, towards the end, but I never took the time to watch it all the way through. This is where Nicole Kidman comes back into it.
I never even heard of this one.
Well, Practical Magic is a 1998 romantic fantasy film directed by Griffin Dunn based on the novel by Alice Hoffman. The story follows two sisters, Sally and Gillian Owens, who come from a family of witches. They are cursed to lose any man that they truly fall in love with. The film explores the struggles with the curse, their powers, and relationships. As they try to break the curse, they also face challenges with an abusive ex-boyfriend's spirit and societal prejudices against the magical heritage. The movie blends the elements of romance, comedy, drama, and features a strong emphasis on the bond between the sisters. So, and they have two aunts that are also witches that help them out. Basically, Nicole Kidman is a character who uses her, she like, kind of like Jenny in Forrest Gump, goes off and ends up with like a really abusive boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then you have Sandra Bullock, who finds the love of her life. And then because of the curse, he dies. She has two kids before he dies. But there's like this really shitty thing where I can't remember what bug it is. I think it's this beetle. And every time you hear this beetle making this like beetle noise, you know that the man you love is going to die within like the next couple days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, and the guy doesn't hear it. Only because you're a witch do you hear it. And so Sandra Bullock has to help Nicole Kidman deal with this abusive piece of shit. Well, they kill him, but then he ends up kind of coming back and trying to haunt them. And then this cop shows up, Aidan Quinn, to try to find out, because he's like on the case, like, where is this guy? He just up and disappeared because he's not a good dude. And then you find out, like, is he one of their loves? Is he not? Will he die? And it's this whole thing trying to break the curse. And it's a great love story. I'm really kind of glad I watched it as an adult, because I wouldn't have like appreciated it
as
a kid. Nicole Kidman, fantastic. Sandra Bullock, fantastic. We already know the accolades that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the two ladies that play the aunts, but they're fantastic. Well, even the kids are pretty decent.
What year was this one?
This is from 1998.
So they were all pretty young then.
Yeah, I mean, we're
talking 30s.
This is after Far and Away with Tom Cruise, but it's before Miss Congeniality, maybe. So it's around the time they were still like super popular and big. And if anybody's curious why Witches of Eastwick is not here, it's because they deal with the devil and they're not actually witches. It just popped into my head. If somebody's thinking, that should be in here, that it's in the title, and they made a TV show, I don't know, but it's about the devil giving them powers. They're not actually witches. So that's why I didn't include it. But practical magic, I give this movie a 9, a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. What did I write down here? 8 out of 10. You should definitely check it out. It's just heartwarming, but it's scary. It touches a lot of things about abuse and trying to get through that trauma, trying to get over it, trying to fix the mistakes that you're consistently making, finding out that when you use magic, again, to fix your problems, bad consequences happen. Magic isn't just a trick to just snap your fingers and make your life better. And it also deals with the people in the town have this idea that they are witches and they're very mean to them, and they have to deal with that as well, and how to reconcile that towards the end of the movie to get other people to help them and to have the community come together. It's a good heartwarming tale. I think anybody should watch. If you have any heart and like romance at all and like a little bit of comedy and you like witches, check this movie out. Like it's a good movie. It's not, again, there's no people getting their heads cut off. We're not jumping through city skylines, but it's still a good movie.
So it's not Final Destination.
No, it is not. But you should check it out, I think. I recommend this movie 8 out of 10.
Well, speaking of consequences and essentially Rumpelstiltskin coming back and saying all magic comes with a price. The next one I have here is from 2006, and it is one of my, I guess, favorites in this type of genre, The Covenant from 2006.
The Sons of Ipswich.
So
not the soccer team.
Very strongly feel that this one was underrated. IMDb has
it did not do good at the box office either.
No, but IMDb has it a 5.2.
That's bullshit.
Out of 10.
That's bullshit.
If you haven't seen it, it is kind of like what you just described. Well, not the love part, but using magic, but it follows the men of the family. So directed by Rennie Harlin.
Ooh, you know who Rennie Harlin did? He did some fucking Nightmare on Elm Streets, baby. Rennie Harlin's a good director. He's underrated. He's done some really good movies.
It follows 4 teenage boys. Caleb, played by Stephen Strait. Pogue, played by Taylor Kish. Reed, played by Toby Hemingway. And Tyler, played by Chase Crawford. Go look them up. I guarantee you'll know who every one of those actors are.
That's the guy. The Deep.
Okay.
The Deep. Remember we were talking off mic about this.
He plays the Deep?
Chase Crawford?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy from the Vampire Diaries and then the Deep.
Wow. I didn't place that one. Okay. I mean, I know Pogue, Taylor Kitsch, he played Gambit later in life.
Yeah, he did.
And many other things. So they're descendants.
True Detective Season 2. And Friday Night Lights.
Yep.
The TV show. Tim Riggins.
All right, so they're all descendants of the colonial witch families of Ipswich, Massachusetts. Essentially, they're part of the original 5 families that settled this town during like the Salem witch trials, and I think they even say it was like the 14 or 1600s, something like that. Like they go back a good ways. As part of their lineage, they inherit a supernatural ability only known as the Power that grows stronger with age but comes at a cost. Excessive use will shorten their lifespans. Then a mysterious student, Chase Collins, played by Sebastian Stan.
The Winter Soldier?
Very young at the time.
The White Wolf?
He arrives at this elite private school and then strange things start happening. To sum up the last couple sentences, the group realizes that Chase might be one of them, and they want to know what he wants. And, well, I think it's pretty obvious.
He lets them know. He definitely lets them know. By the way, Rennie Harlin, Die Hard 2. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. 5.2 on IMDb. I give this, probably a 7.5, maybe even 8 out of 10. It's just a solid, well-acted, well-done movie. For 2006, the special effects were great.
I give it a 7 out of 10 only because I wanted a little bit more to it. But man, when you got Rob Zombie kicking off this movie with more human than human.
Oh yeah, the soundtrack to this movie was awesome.
And how about the one where they go to jump the car and he goes, Harry Potter can kiss my ass?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just stuff like that made it great. Seeing these young stars. I just wanted, there's some good sequences. I just felt like there was another 20 minutes of this movie that should have been somewhere.
Okay.
I just felt like it was just, it's a good movie and I'll watch it again.
At about the 1 hour mark.
So dark. It's so dark and blue too. Is that period where every movie was like dark and blue? It was weird.
Well, it almost felt emo in a way.
Yeah.
But like at the 1 hour mark, things start to pick up. Well, they almost pick up too fast at one point. Like everything starts happening real quick, and if you're not paying solid
Maybe that's
attention,
what it was for me. It was the pacing. Because all of a sudden we're at the end.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like if you're not paying complete attention, you feel like you missed something all of a sudden. Because the pacing just suddenly takes off like a rocket. And it starts about the time that there's a small motorcycle accident. That's when everything just starts to snowball.
You know, I'm really getting irritated watching movies where somebody is mad about somebody's ancestors who did something way back when, and now you need to pay for it. Your great grandfather was a piece of shit, so I'm going to come back to a town and I'm going to murder and torture everybody around you to hurt you because something that your great grandfather did.
Yep.
Bro, that's not my fault.
Like
I'm your friend.
Yep.
Like, come on, bro. Like, can't we just like hug it out or something? Why do you got to murder all my friends and torture my soon-to-be girlfriend? Like, what? Come on, man. What did I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Like, come on.
Like, this film really blends like the supernatural aspect with the teenage drama. But then, like you said, it has like that gothic horror feel to it. Like, there's that scene. I'll be completely transparent. I hate spiders. I passionately hate spiders.
Yeah, the spider plays a prominent role in
Spiders and heights are the two things I do not do well.
Crooked Man that I watched today, a lot of spiders up in that
Holy shit. With that scene, like, well, she's dreaming and she dreams that there's spiders all over her.
Going in your face.
All over her friend. Like, I'm watching that and I swear to you, I caught myself itching. Like, man. And then they even say, like, because she talks about it, and then her friend actually starts to show some of those symptoms of being bit by spiders. They say, like, oh, it's a curse, and really interesting way to, like,
I want to know how, though, she had premonitions. Like, she's not magical. I want some explanation.
See, in my head, it was like he was showing her something, maybe.
But why? Why tip her off?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why tip any of them off? Why try to be buddies? Why? His plan was flawed. Let's stay. Okay. He was not the Winter Soldier in this one. He had some...
like he was trying to get close to them so he could, like, you know what? Spoiler, it was 20.
What did he kill the kid in the car for?
But he even says because he caught him using magic at one point and he kept asking questions. So he got a ride with him to the party and killed him in the car.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
And he left his student ID in the back seat.
What the fuck was he doing in the back seat?
No, like, instead of befriending them to try and later trick them and get their power, just blindside them.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Why reveal yourself in the swimming pool just so you can win a race?
I don't know. There's some reasons. It's why I dropped to a 7. I thought at first an 8, but I was like, and I try not to pick apart a movie, but I had to drop it down to a 7. But I still recommend it. It's still a good, fun watch.
What gets it for me is the scene where he gets distracted and goes head on into the tractor trailer. The whole car explodes.
And goes back together?
But then it, like, reforms on the other side
that
of the truck.
That was in the movie trailer.
And he keeps driving away. It was in the trailer, and I really wish it wouldn't have been. Because that is a fantastic scene.
Yeah, I think this is the same time as, like, Final Destinations and stuff are coming out, too. It has that dark kind of... Yeah. It's always overcast.
Yep.
When we did this list... I thought about Covenant. I was like, that's the movie where all the clouds are out all the time.
I bet you this took place in the same town as Twilight.
Yeah, there's no twinkling going on here.
No, this one definitely took place in a small town, though. It was just this little kind of...
It's like around Salem.
Out of the way,
but they're called the Sons of Ipswich because the original village was Ipswich because they have the Ipswich barn.
Yep.
But it's like a boarding school or like some academy.
It's like a private prep school type thing, yeah.
It does not teach magic, but yeah.
Yeah. But all in all, I like it. I mean, it's a good, solid movie. It's entertaining. I mean, like I said, it's got plenty of actors that went on to do some amazing stuff. And yeah, I mean, I've got to I've got to recommend The Covenant. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. If you're into, anything magic related, it's a very interesting take because we didn't even really touch on the big twist of it.
About who the bad guy was?
No,
Are you
no,
talking
not
about
that.
the way? Are you about the consequences of the magic?
That once you turn 18, you basically unlock your full potential as a sorcerer or whatever. But it comes at the cost of your mortality. Like they even say like you will rapidly basically use your life force. You'll age quickly by using your magic too much. And of course they say how, addictive it is. And I found that to be a really interesting plot point of not, magic comes at a price, you'll lose the one you love. No, like you're literally killing yourself as you're using your magic.
Yes, you are depleting your life force.
Right.
Your body, because it's not, what they say in the movie, it's not the magic that's the problem, it's your body. Your body can't handle it.
Yeah.
Your body burns out.
And I mean, if you watch it, you'll see examples, and it's a really, really interesting way to do this movie. And I think Rennie Harlin nailed it. I think it's a very, very good movie.
Listen, Rennie Harlin is underrated.
What about you? What are we moving into next?
Well, I'm not going to really harp on these ones too much here, but I'll recommend if you have some small children or you want to relive that small child Disney TV back when the Disney Channel was really big, the Halloween Town series.
Okay.
Obviously, they got some bad guys who are sorcerers, warlocks. There's 3 of them. There's Halloween Town, Halloween 2, Calabar's Revenge, and Halloween High. I did not rewatch these for this. I mean, I've seen them before. I don't need to rewatch them. They're cool Halloween movies to have. They're just that childish, spooky thing, they're not scary, they're not horror, they're just spooky.
Like Casper.
Yeah, like Casper type stuff.
Or Beetlejuice.
Yeah, they're in the same vein. Maybe not as well made, but...
Growing up, I thought it was Beetlegeist for some reason.
Yeah, that's spelled weird. But you got a kid who's she grows up because she's like a witch. Her grandmother's a witch, her mother's a witch. And obviously the mom doesn't want her to use her powers.
What? She hides it from her?
Oh my God, yeah, right? Yeah, and then she finds out and they have to go to a Halloween Town, which is still in modern times because there's like a skeleton dude that drives a cab around. But yeah, there's that. And those are, we're talking like 98, 2001, 2004. But then going back in time, I did rewatch this one just because I was like, screw it, why not? From 1989, Teen Witch. It's basically about a girl when she hits 16 finds out that she's a witch and can have powers. She's like, well, I'm gonna have a boy fall in love with me. We'll see how that turns out.
Never good.
Yeah, it just well, this one's not as bad though. And what's really cool, or not funny, what's cool about that is the guy that she wants to fall in love with and the girl that she does not like in the movie, her nemesis, the blonde chick, they ended up in real life marrying each other. The football actually married the cheerleader lady in real life.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. There's a weird rap thing that the actress regretted doing, and it's not good. This movie, I remember it more fondly, when I was a little kid, but I still give it a 7 out of 10 just because of the nostalgic value, the fact that it's like an 80s teen movie. It's got the little short lady who's in Poltergeist and all those movies. It's just a cute little 80s movie. Nothing super fantastic. There's not great special effects, no crazy set pieces, but it's about a girl who is a teen witch. That's legitimately what it is. And finally, I'll finish my section with The Worst Witch from 1986. If it was a movie, then they made a TV show that has the girl from the Mushroom Fungus TV show that we watch now.
The Last of Us?
The Last of Us.
Okay.
And she played the new Bear Island lady in Game of Thrones, the little girl.
Oh, yeah.
And I just realized that the other day. But it's...
Oh, really?
So we know what Harry Potter is. Harry Potter goes to a school for magic and wizardry. Well, this girl goes to a school for witches, and she is the worst witch. Everything she does goes wrong. Well, the original movies, Fruza Balk from The Craft plays her. And I fast forwarded through this.
Really?
I was like, well, because I just couldn't remember it a lot. And I was like, I knew what it was about, but I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll give it a chance. And this is put together so poorly, so badly. It's just the man, I don't know how this movie was even made. But Tim Curry is like the main vampire, or not main vampire, he's the main the Grand Wizard, and everybody's all dreamy. And
Is he dressed up like a clown living in the sewer?
He is not, but he's dressed up sort of like Dracula, which is why I accidentally said vampire. But like he's like, I want him, like he's just so dreamy, and and yeah, a lot of bad shit ensues. She like turns her friend invisible by accident, turns her nemesis into a frog. The teachers like her, but then she has like the Dumbledore person. Like it literally is Harry Potter before Harry Potter.
So she's just really bad at magic.
Yeah, just like things just go wrong. She thinks she's doing the right thing, and then she accidentally puts a little bit more of an ingredient in some shit. But if you really want to go back in time to 1986 and watch a made-for-TV, so I'll give it that, it is made for TV.
Oh, geez.
I don't know, like maybe Nickelodeon made this or something, but it's wild. I did not watch the TV show, but
I kind of want to watch it now.
No, you don't.
Okay.
No, you don't. And somebody, you can go on Reddit and you can see all these people online that have made the comparisons of that and Harry Potter, drawn everything together. It's very similar.
Would you rather watch that or some of the later Highlander movies?
Highlander.
Really? Because you said Highlanders were pretty bad.
I'll watch Endgame before this any day.
Endgame? Oh, really? Highlander Endgame? Yeah. Not Marvel Endgame?
No. No. Maybe, I don't know what to watch, Highlander the Source or that. Probably Highlander the Source.
Alien 3.
Alien 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
That bad. Okay.
I would watch this before I watched Q the Serpent, though, which is probably one of the worst movies I've ever watched in my entire life.
Oh, it's because you haven't seen Alien Hunt yet. I'm telling you, that movie was so bad. It was like a 1 out of 10.
All right. Well, what do you have now that I've knocked off a couple of other modern witch movies that some of these take place in the 80s. I guess I didn't really say. Teen Witch, obviously made in 89, takes place in 89, Witch 86, Halloween Town in the 90s. So, yeah, they're all modern. There's cars, there's things. The Worst Witch doesn't really show that stuff, but I did look and it says it is supposed to be set in the 80s.
Okay.
And I think there's some aesthetics that you can tell, but.
All right. So I do have a few that I can just run through real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Troll Hunters. There's a book. It started as a book written by Guillermo del Toro, which is completely different than the Netflix animated show they did.
He'll come up in a minute.
It's the idea of a kid who is of a descendant of troll hunters, essentially, and that trolls are real and they're, hideous creatures that like to eat humans and, mostly kids. And it takes place completely in modern day, but it's like he's, I think it's like Merlin's not descendant, but like he's a knight of Merlin type of thing.
There's got to be some Merlin stuff, yeah.
But it's surprisingly, the animated series on Netflix was really well done. Like my kids even liked it.
Okay.
So that's book and TV. I have to jump into it. I have to say the Dresden Files book and the one season they did. If you like magic in modern day, look into Dresden. Like it is just, in my opinion, the pinnacle. It takes everything. You do like
Harry Dresden a lot.
It takes everything that you like about magic, everything you've mentioned that like you like about these different shows, and it's in there at some point.
Huge following.
I mean, yeah, it does. It has a very big following. I do remember my very first DM for D&D recommended it to me, and I'm just like, meh, because the way he described it was just, magic in modern day. And I'm like, okay.
Well, some of us don't give entire synopsises away.
Damn it, listen to me. With that episode a while back where I was telling you about Molly, I barely scratched the surface, okay? I did not give you a beginning, middle, and end.
You gave me enough, but that's fine, whatever. Anything else?
Doctor Strange. Yes, I know he's Marvel, but you look at the comics, you look at the movies, some of the older cartoons. I mean, that is master of the mystic arts.
He's the sorcerer supreme.
Yes. Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's not technology. It's not sci-fi. That is taking pure magic of the universe and putting it into that situation, that modern day sci-fi ridden situation. Like, and then one that I randomly thought of it sitting here and I wrote it down quick. One my kids really like. There's a trilogy on Disney. Mid to later 2000s called The Descendants. I think I mentioned this once.
Yeah, it's kind of like Percy Jackson.
Yeah, it follows the children of the Disney like princes and princesses and villains that we grew up with. And I mean,
guy from Letterkenny's in it.
Really?
Yeah, one of the bros, the blonde one.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Okay. Fair Play. I think his last name is Fair Play or something.
I don't know. I'll take a look now, but yeah, it follows them. It's a musical, sure. but it takes place completely modern day. You know, cell phones, cars. It's a really good depiction of taking something from that time period and just plopping it now. Here's what it would look like.
And there are like
now.
3 of them.
Yeah, they did. Well, they did 4.
4 of them.
3 with three with the same main characters, and then one set much later. None of the. Well, I think 2 of the main characters came back. Well, actually, not even main. Side characters came back. But the 3 main didn't, because the 4th main from the original trilogy had passed away. I don't remember what his name was, but he was also in that movie where they go on vacation with Adam Sandler. Oh, what is that?
Are you talking about Grown Ups? One of those kids died? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Cameron something, I think.
Yeah, he was in a couple of Disney things. Yeah.
Unfortunately, he did pass away, and so the rest of them said they didn't want to continue. So they did a very small, this is what his name was, Carlos in the movie. They're like, this is what Carlos would have wanted. Like a very brief little, here's a shot of him, and now let's move on with movie number 4. And people will complain because they're like, well, what happened to him in that universe? You never tell us. And the actors even said, they're like, don't. We never will, because that would disrespect it. The family was very happy with that send-off. Let's just leave it at that. And I hate to admit that they're not horrible movies.
Why do you hate to admit it?
Because they're not good movies. But yeah, that's just some of the little side ones that I had that I wanted to, to bring up. Okay. What else you got?
A lot. Okay. Well, the Warlock series, 1989, the film, there's 3 of them. The first film follows a warlock who is trapped back in the Pilgrim times. He ends up awaking in modern times, and he needs to do some warlock type things. Well, the guy that trapped him travels through time somehow to get him, and shit ensues. And there's Amish people in it. And then the second one, there's like a barn, like the Amish people know, like the sign and shit.
And Harrison Ford hiding out.
No, not from the P2P, which is not to do peer to peer, but it's like something to do with the chemicals from Silent Witness, the movie that you're talking about with Danny Glover.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
It's filmed in Pennsylvania.
Better than Warlock, but
now, does that have anything to do with like the comics, the Warlock comics? Or
no, this has nothing to do with.
It's completely okay.
No Marvel comics here. There was 3 of them. The third one is really, really bad. I don't recommend that one, but I recommend the first and second one. The second one's iffy, but the first one's really, really good. Part 1, I give an 8. Part 2, I give it a 7. And Part 3, I give a 6. Obviously, we've touched on it here and there, but the Harry Potter series. Now, we didn't want to give a whole entire episode
Never would
of
have
this.
thought of that one.
But Harry Potter, 2001, definitely a book series. We all know that. They spend a lot of time in the wizarding world, but Harry Potter, the Dursleys, everybody, I'm not going to hammer on this. They live in the modern world. There's cars. They turn one into a flying car. There's trains. There's phones. There's elevators, escalators. There's things. It's modern times. Everybody knows what Harry Potter is.
So as much as we like to joke around about it, those books completely paved the way for a whole new generation of movies and stuff. Mostly the young adult oriented movies.
We wouldn't have got Percy Jackson and things like that if it wasn't for Harry Potter.
That's what I mean. Or
the Maze Runner or any of those.
Sure, we joke around about it, but I mean, it at the time was, can I say, revolutionary to that industry.
And I overall, I give the series a 9, 8.59. Like all together, all the movies, you just roll them into one. I give it a 9 out of 10. And I cannot tell you how I'm very excited for the TV show. The fact that we're going to get a season per book is going to be great. If you don't know what Harry Potter is, Google it. Okay. Hellboy. I just watched The Crooked Man today. I've seen 3 out of 4 of these movies. They are, this devilish being. The first movie Rasputin tries to bring back, who was, a possibly maybe wizard sorcerer from back in the Russian times. Like the Russians don't exist now. Yeah. They still exist now.
Is that one David Harbour?
No. The first 2 is Ron Perlman. Third one is David Harbour, which I didn't get to see today. I watched The Crooked Man with a whole new guy playing Hellboy. A lot more horror elements to it, but this one's witches. There's like so many witches in this one, like a shit ton of witches.
It was probably Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, and this one here actually takes place in the 50s, and I didn't realize that. But the first 3 movies take place in like the late 90s, 2000s. So we talked about Percy Jackson. Obviously, his father's a Greek god. It takes place in modern times. There's a magical forest where people are kept away, and it says, I don't remember a lot of wizardry happening, but it says there's magic.
Do you
that
feel like
happens
that
in this.
falls more into the deity?
I think it's more of a deity thing,
Okay.
but I did some research and it said there was a wizardy dude, but I don't really remember him. But it's a big book series. People like it, so check that out.
I just remember Nathan Fillion's in it as Hermes, the messenger, and he's running like a giant UPS store. That might be in the second one.
I don't know if I really remember much of the second one.
I remember,
don't know.
and there was a Cyclops.
Yeah, I only saw the first one and I gave it a 7.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair assessment.
You talked about the Sorcerer Apprentice.
Yep.
We both talked about it then. Morgana, Grimholds, sorcery, science, magic. Good thing. I gave it 8 out of 10. Go check that out. I'll slow down a little bit for this one here.
What, you say you give it a 10?
8 out of 10.
Oh.
10 out of 10.
Wow.
Sorcerer's Apprentice. It is a good movie, though.
It wasn't that
is
good, but...
Here's one that I did watch the other day. This is not, again, your big city sword and sorcery, huge shit blowing up Ghostbuster style. This one's called Beautiful Creatures 2013. Supernatural romance film based on the novel by Amy Garcia and Margaret Stoll. I don't know if they just co-wrote that or what. It's basically about this kid named Ethan who lives in a small town in, I think, Alabama, maybe. Kind of like maybe he lived a county over from Forrest Gump. I'm not sure. But this girl comes to town and people are talking shit about her. And they know that she's from a family. They don't really ever deal with this eccentric uncle. They just know that he's kind of a different type of guy. They say they're from the devil. They do witchcraft. Everybody's mean to her. Well, Ethan falls in love with her, finds out that she is a descendant of magic. She's coming up on a birthday. You know what happens when it comes on a birthday and you don't really know magic. You get to, she has to choose whether she's going to go with light magic or dark magic because they're cursed to go one way or the other. For you fans of Shameless out there, Emmy Rossum shows up in here and she's mean and she's awesome. For those of you that liked or maybe even didn't like the Star Wars movie about Han Solo, that kid who does Han Solo is in this. And I think he does pretty well. Speaking of some Die Hard 2, you get the main bad guy is the eccentric uncle in this one. And then the main lady, I don't know, it's a good movie. It's a good romance movie. This dude is in so love with this chick. She's in love with him. And it's a Romeo and Juliet story. They're not supposed to be together because if they are together, the curse goes that he will die and she will go dark. And she says, fuck the curse. I'm going to do it anyway. And then she tries to make him forget a la Spider-Man, but then he remembers. And it's just fantastic. It's a good romantic movie that has some really there's this really old rundown mansion in the swampiness of this Alabama, and this Ethan guy walks in and it's all this art deco, looks like the TARDIS. It's so much bigger than what it's supposed to be, and it's all modern, and it's really awesome. Check this movie out. I give this movie an 8 out of 10. I was pleasantly surprised. I had forgotten that I kind of maybe have watched this movie before. I was like, I think I might have seen this, but I'm going to keep watching it, and I had a good time. You touched on The Last Witch Hunter.
Yes.
So Calder with a Kauldr. I should have been with a C, but whatever. We talked about The Mortal Instruments already. 2
movies I'd never seen until you recommended them, and
they're good.
They were so good.
Doctor Strange, Bright, and only one other one on my list. 2 of them. Lords of Salem, 2012. It's a weird Rob Zombie horror movie. This disc jockey gets caught up with these coven of witches, and it's slow, and I wasn't a huge fan, but a lot of other people were. If you like slow-moving, atmospheric, creepy movies like A24 type shit, go check it out. It's all right, 5, 6 out of 10, something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again someday in my horror movie rewatch. But the last one I want to talk about very briefly, Onward, 2020, animated. Have you ever seen this? You know anything about it?
I know very little about it. It's like these 2 kids are trying to bring their dad back or something like that. Because, Disney, a parent has to be dead.
Right. Yeah. 2020 animated adventure film in a suburban world where magic existed once, but has faded over time. The story follows 2 elf brothers, Ian and Barley Lightfoot, who embark on a quest to discover if there's still magic left in the world. Their goal is to bring back their deceased father for one day using a magical staff and a rare gem. Along the way, they encounter various mythical creatures and face numerous challenges, all while strengthening their bond as brothers and discovering true meaning of family and bravery. Magical creatures and races exist in modern day along with forgotten magic. Yeah, it's a very heartwarming film. You should watch it with your kids.
Okay.
It's sad. It pulled at my heartstrings a few times. It's got some Weekend at Bernie's type stuff going on in a way. I think maybe, I don't know if Chris Pratt is one of the voices in this. Shaun of the Dead. I think one of those dudes might be in this.
I think this is the one where it was Chris Pratt and Tom Holland who did voices.
Maybe.
Because I remember they did one together. It might have been this one.
Yeah, maybe Wanda Sykes shows up at some point. Somebody like that. I don't know. I just remember it was really fun as an animated movie, which I'm not really huge into those kiddie animated movies, but
Yeah.
I had a great time. Maybe because it was like Dungeons and Dragons, 80s style, 90s kind of like there's a van with a dragon on it or something, you know, and like actual dragons to kind of, I think, exist. And like it's a fun movie for kids and parents. It's not like G, but it's like a PG-13. Like I would check it out again if hopefully we have a child. I'll watch it. You know,
Nice.
Yeah. That's my entire list. That's your entire list.
Well, I mean, we could go all night. I mean, there's Aladdin. There's Jumanji. I mean, there's movies.
Aladdin's not modern times.
Okay, what came out?
Jumanji doesn't have wizards or sorcerers.
Okay, but Jumanji.
There's a reason I have
Jumanji
this
is magic.
Specific and only this list.
No, Jumanji is magic. Okay, I want to ask you, there's two of them, though, that I almost put on the list, but I wasn't sure if I felt they should make it or not.
Go ahead.
The Crow.
No.
Why?
Uh,
Is it more deity?
there's no wizard or sorcerer. There's somebody that may be a witch lady in the first one, but he comes back because of the spirit of the crow to get revenge
Okay.
as a traumatic death.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other one is The Old Guard. Now, I only say that one because...
The one you keep harping on. I've never seen it.
I know.
So.
It only really deals with immortality. It doesn't go into magic or anything like that. It's just these people are born immortal for so long. I know.
That's why weird. Highlander was weird, but there was an actual sorcerer in Highlander at one
Eventually,
point. So.
Yes.
Yeah. So I wouldn't put that one in there either.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jumanji is obviously magic. So
there's magicalness about it.
We don't know where that game board came from. Okay.
We don't. That's the issue. And we didn't even mention Shazam, the wizard Shazam.
No, that doesn't count. It doesn't count.
You don't like those movies?
Kazam.
Dude, Kazam's that's a different movie. That's actually not that bad with all the cheeseburgers falling from the sky and the candy. You know, the Arabian fish eyes.
What was that? Shaq?
Yeah. Shaq Fu. I don't know. Steel is a horrible Shaq movie, but Shazam is actually not that bad.
Steel was, I guess, like an attempt to make kind of a Superman-ish, the John Henry style Superman?
I think it's John Irons in the
Is that what it is? I know they were kind of trying to go that route, but it just didn't take at all.
It's to me one of the worst worst comic book movies ever made.
Oh, that says a lot.
Yeah, and we could go on and on about what we think is the worst comic book ever made, but that's not what we're here for today. We're here to talk about modern fantasy movies. We're not going to get on a tangent.
Final Fantasy movies?
Final film.
Urban
Did I say
fantasy.
The wrong? Modern, urban, final. I don't know. Listen, I'm finally done with this. Thank you, whoever listened to this to the end, man. Thank you.
I think we covered a very wide spread of movies.
Listen, we can't always do sand and jungle and fucking caves, sword sorcery. Like it was Josh's idea that we go into modern times, and I think it was a good side avenue exit than your normal. Like, this isn't Conan, which, hey, guess what? Next episode we're gonna be doing some Conan.
Yep.
Do you like Conan the Barbarian? We're gonna be talking about Conan, his origins, and all that. So
yeah, in 2 weeks. That's right. I have 2 weeks to watch all of the Conans.
there's only 3.
That's a lot of Conan. That's a lot of Arnie.
It's only 6 hours. No, that's not all Arnie.
I know, and it's still a lot of Arnie.
You watched the Ralph Muller TV show too.
Probably not. Are we doing like Xena too?
No.
Okay.
Conan. You want to watch Red Sonja?
Maybe. No. All right. So yeah, in 2 weeks we're going to be looking at Conan. We're going to be diving down that rabbit hole. Get ready for a lot of impressions. I can already feel it. But for this episode,
I've been flagged. I can't.
For this episode, we're wrapping it up. So if you like what you're hearing, please jump on over to our social medias at Instagram, Facebook, and X. You can follow us, like us, subscribe to us, whatever the
subscribe button.
whatever it is on that platform in particular. Drop some comments. We want to hear from you. We want to know, what did you think of our picks? What did we miss? What should we have just ignored completely? What 5.2 movie deserved the 5.2 rating?
And which one did we give a high rating to that we should drop?
You can also let us know what you think we should cover next, as long as it's in the fantasy realm for this half of the year, season, whatever, however long we decide to do this.
Just whatever. Any geeky topic you think we should cover, give it to us.
Yes, it will absolutely go on our list.
Yeah.
If you want to hear it sooner than later, fantasy.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I will give you a little hint. In the coming future, we do have a D&D oriented episode coming. We will have a special guest that you have not heard yet. Yeah, so that should be a lot of fun. Hopefully we get to that.
I've never heard his voice.
This is true. This is true. We have a lot coming, all right? And we do have our cameras. Like I said, we are working on some video. We're going to get that going here really soon. We do have our Patreon. If you really like what you're hearing and you want us to continue, please consider subscribing for only $5 a month. You will get added to our Patreon membership where you can chat with us directly. You can vote on upcoming episodes and topics. And for a very limited time, you will also receive a free Tree of Geek tumbler mailed out to you with, if you want it, we'll throw your username or name or whatever you want. We will get that mailed out to you. $5 a month, people. Come on, help support us. Make this happen.
I just want to say right now, we went to get gas the other day at the station, some petrol, and the price of cigarettes. And dude, we're asking for less than the price of a pack of cigs, okay?
Dude, we're asking for less than a grande, whatever at Starbucks.
I think our Patreon costs less than a Red Bull, maybe, or a Liquid Death.
Probably. Yeah.
Like once a month. And how many of those do you drink a month? I don't drink. I know you people out there are doing your kill shots and whatever they are.
I drink a Monster a day, pretty much.
Oh my God.
It's okay though.
You're not
it's
dying.
the iced tea and lemonade one, the Rehab.
Ew.
My nutritionist said that one's okay. It's basically just an Arnold Palmer.
Iced tea. Oh my God.
Hey, it's only 25. It's 25 calories and only 3 grams
throw
of
up on the
sugar.
microphone. Oh my God.
Don't, because I don't have to buy a new one.
No, you just take this little fuzzy thing off.
Oh, okay.
That's what she said.
Wow. And by joining the Patreon, you also will receive a shout out every episode. So as of right now, John, our recurring guest on the show, I want to say thank you as always for being a Patreon member. He was actually our very first Patreon member, and he's still going strong today. And Unconfined You, we thank you as well for being our other Patreon member. That is true. He does have to pay for his Crunchyroll. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast. We really do appreciate it. And I mean, we're in our 3rd year. We want to keep doing this. We're loving it. If you're loving it too, help us out. That's all we ask. But that's enough begging. I'm going to put my cup and my cardboard sign away. So for the Tree of Geek, this is Josh telling you, take care, have a good day, go watch our movies, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
This is the H train, putting the train back in the station. And before I do that, just be nice. Love everyone around you. Be kind. A jug. A jug. Yeah, Nick. Bad. Let's just give Nick Cannon another movie.
Oh,
I mean, he's got to support them kids.